August 10, Prologue of Ochrid. The Holy Martyrs Archdeacon Lawrence, Sixtus, Pope of Rome, and others with them. When Pope Stephen was slain, August 2, Sixtus, who was an Athenian by birth, was appointed in his place. Sixtus was at one time a philosopher and then became a Christian. This was a time in which the bishops of Rome were slain one after the other. To become a bishop of Rome meant to be consigned to martyrdom. Emperor Decius was determined to destroy Christianity. Pope Sixtus was quickly brought to trial with two of his deacons, Felicissimus and Agapitus. As the three were led to prison, Archdeacon Lawrence said to the Pope, "Where are you going, Father, without your son? Where, O Bishop, without your Archdeacon?" The Pope consoled him, prophesying to Lawrence that he would undergo even greater tortures for Christ, and that he would shortly take this path, and ended as soon as they had beheaded Sixtus and his two deacons. Lawrence was apprehended. Lawrence had presciently placed and placed all his affairs and the affairs of the church in order. As treasurer and steward of the church, he removed all of the church valuables to the home of the widower Kyriakos. On the same occasion, he healed Kyriakos of a terrible head pain by the touch of his hand and restored the sight of a blind man, Crescention. After being thrown into prison, Lawrence healed Lucilius, a prisoner of many years, of blindness, and then he baptized him. Witnessing this, Hippolytus, their jailer, was also baptized. He later suffered for Christ, August 13. Since Lawrence did not want to deny Christ, but on the contrary advised Emperor Decius to reject his false gods, his face was beaten with stones, and his body was beaten with a scorpion. A chain with sharp teeth and a curved handle like a scorpion's tail. Romanus, a soldier present at the torture, converted to Christian faith and was immediately beheaded. In the end, they placed Lawrence on a gridiron, naked, and lit a fire under him, roasting in the fire. St. Lawrence thanked God and mocked the emperor for his paganism. After Lawrence gave his pure and heroic soul to God, Hippolytus removed his body under cover of night to the home of Kyriakos and then to a cave where Hippolytus honorably buried St. Lawrence with the others suffered in the year 258. Saint Hieron. Hieron was a Christian philosopher. He is mentioned by Saint Gregory the theologian in his books. He died peacefully and took up his eternal habitation with the Lord. Hymn of Praise. The Holy Martyr Saint Lawrence. The impious emperor asked Lawrence, Where are you from? Where are you from? What is your rank?" To which Lawrence replied, "From Spain, educated in Rome, and I am a servant of the one God. Are you the guardian of the treasury of the church? Of that good treasure I am, O Emperor. Give us the treasure and save your life. The treasure of the church is in heaven. If you too believe in the Lord Christ, you will also inherit the treasure." Lawrence renounced Christ. O Emperor, renounce the idols. The emperor, enraged, summoned his servants, who beat Lawrence and crushed him, and laid him on a burning grid. To me this fire is cool, but the fire in Hades is ready for you. Lawrence renounced Christ. Do you not regret dying young? Christ suffered for me on the cross. He died for me, and I will die for him. With one side of his body consumed by the flames, Lawrence said to his torturers, "My body is just half cooked. Turn me over. Here is your food. Turn me over and cook the other side." He spoke, and his soul departed to the sweet heavenly mansion. Reflection. How can we overcome the antagonism of our enemies? By renunciation, meekness, and prayer. Renunciation in everything except in faith and purity of life. Meekness always and prayer always, St. Ambrose writes. This is the weapon of the righteous ones, that in retreating they conquer, just as the skillful archers are able to shoot those stronger than themselves, even as they themselves retreat. A brother was offended by his friend, but nevertheless, desiring peace with him, went to him to be reconciled. His friend did not even want to open the door for him, and scolding him from within, chased him away from his dwelling. The brother then complained to a spiritual elder, who's, who said to him, "You are going to your friend to be reconciled, yet all along the way there you condemned him in your thoughts and justified yourself. Even though your friend sinned against you, I counsel you to establish the thought in yourself that you have sinned against him. Justify him and condemn yourself. In this manner, go to him again." Thus the brother proceeded, and what happened? Just as the brother approached his friend's abode, his friends opened the door wide, ran up to him, embraced him, and made peace with him. Contemplation. Contemplate the plagues that befall the Philistines because of the captured Ark of the Covenant. 1 Samuel 5:6. How the people were afflicted with tumors, and mice devoured the crops whatever the Philistines set down the Ark of the Covenant. How the Philistine, terrified, returned the Ark of the Covenant to the land of Israel. How the holy things of God punish those who keep them in an unclean land of idols, or in a heat defiled by passions. Homily on the weakness of the sinful ones. As for my people, children are their oppressors, and women rule over them. Isaiah chapter 3, verse 12. All that is of God is most beautiful and most wise. Everything created by God travels obediently along the path for which God has ordained it. The stars move, animals live, and the atmospheric currents flow, all according to the order established by God. Only man, the most intelligent creature, frequently leaves the path of God, falling into ignorance and inventing strange paths according to his thinking. Because of this, it can be that children led instead of the elders, and instead of men, women rule. When children rule, oppression reigns. When women rule, disorder usually reigns. When this is permitted by God, at, as this does not occur unless the people sin, or by the permission of God, the people find themselves under punishment for their sins, in the same way that an enemy subdues the land in war. For all oppression is war, and every disorder is a punishment for sins. Just as oppression and disorder are able to reign in a nation, they are able to reign in the soul of man. Immature and impious thoughts are contributed by children, and physical, sensual theorizing is the contribution of women. When immature and impious thoughts prevail. They oppress man and drag him from evil to evil, like a vindictive child. When physical theorizing prevails over spiritual, masculine wisdom, which is from God, it rules over man like an evil woman. Under the spiritual concept of woman, the prophet understand not only females, but also men with women's weaknesses, so that children's petulance and women's whims do not overtake a man or a nation. It is necessary to adhere closely to the law prescribed by God for man, as all created things adhere to the law prescribed by God for him. O Lord, our Creator and our Lawgiver, illumine us and strengthen us. Illumine us with the grace of the Spirit, that we may always know thy law. Strengthen us with the power of the Spirit, that we may always adhere to thy law. To thee be glory and praise forever. Amen.